The geopolitics of sovereign AI starts with a simple fact. Artificial intelligence has become a national power system. A country that rents its models, rents its cloud, imports its chips, and stores its data under another country's legal reach has a dependency problem. It may call itself digital. It may call itself advanced. But when a crisis hits, it discovers the bill has a flag on it. Sovereign AI means a nation can build, run, secure, and govern AI systems on terms it controls. That includes data centers, GPUs, power supply, fiber links, model training, model tuning, public sector deployments, cyber controls, and export exposure. The phrase sounds abstract. The reality is concrete. It is steel, water, electricity, semiconductors, cooling systems, engineers, classified data sets, and law. Orbit is a supply chain. AI is now one too. The race is accelerating because AI has moved from consumer software into state capacity. It writes code. It analyzes satellite imagery. It supports cyber defense. It triages intelligence. It assists weapons design. It manages logistics. It answers citizens in public service portals at 2 a.m., when the human bureaucracy has gone home to lose a password. That changes the strategic question. The question is no longer, who has the best chatbot? The question is, who owns the machine that your state depends on? The first layer is compute. Frontier AI requires specialized chips, high-density data centers, advanced cooling, and large-scale power. CNAS describes the current compute order bluntly. The United States and China control most of the computing power needed to develop and deploy frontier AI. That gives both powers leverage over every country trying to build advanced AI capacity. This creates a new hierarchy. At the top sit the compute empires, the United States and China. They possess the chip firms, cloud platforms, model labs, talent pools, and military demand signals. Below them sit the middle powers, France, Germany, the United Kingdom, South Korea, Japan, Israel, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, India, and others. These states can buy or host major AI capacity, but they still depend on foreign chips, foreign platforms, or foreign model ecosystems. Below them sit the compute-poor states. They may have data, they may have policy, they may even have ambition, but they lack the physical plant. In AI terms, they are trying to field an air force without aircraft. This is why sovereign AI has become a diplomatic market. NVIDIA now sells more than chips. It sells national AI capability as a package. Its public sector messaging frames countries as AI makers rather than AI takers, and its sovereign AI partnerships span Europe, the United States, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, and other governments. That language matters. A country that owns AI capacity can tune models on national languages. It can protect public records. It can run military workflows on domestic systems. It can keep sensitive inference workloads within its legal perimeter. A country that rents AI capacity from outside providers gets access, but access comes with conditions. The operator, the chip supply, the cloud contract, the software stack, and the legal venue all matter. One 2025 review of 775 non-U.S. data center projects found that U.S. companies operated 48% of non-U.S. data center projects when weighted by investment value, used as a proxy for compute capacity.
Local concrete can still carry foreign command authority.
That is the first threat vector, false sovereignty. A government can announce a national AI data center and still lack operational control. The facility may sit inside national borders, while the cloud operator answers to another jurisdiction. The GPUs may rely on foreign firmware. The model may rely on a foreign API. The maintenance team may depend on foreign support. The data may remain local, while the dependency chain runs overseas. This is sovereignty with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. It gives ministers something to photograph. It gives the public something to admire. It gives adversaries a wiring diagram. The second threat vector is energy. AI consumes electricity at strategic scale. Large AI data centers compete with industry, cities, and military bases for power. The grid becomes part of the AI order. A nation with cheap energy can host compute. A nation with scarce energy imports intelligence as a service. This is why the Gulf states matter. Saudi Arabia's Humane announced a major AI factory effort with NVIDIA, including a projected capacity up to 500 megawatts over 5 years, and an initial phase built around 18,000 NVIDIA GB300 Grace Blackwell systems. That is a national industrial move, tied to energy abundance, capital, and state strategy. The UAE follows a similar logic. It wants to become an AI hub because it has capital, strategic geography, state discipline, and an interest in reducing dependence on oil rents. It also sits inside a dangerous neighborhood. Regional instability makes sovereign AI capacity more attractive because cloud access can become a wartime exposure. AI factories are now strategic infrastructure. They need air defense thinking, cyber defense thinking, water planning, grid planning, and physical security. A data center that runs public services, finance, logistics, and defense analytics becomes a national target. The server hall becomes a soft power monument with a power bill and a blast radius. The third threat vector is model alignment with national culture. Every major nation wants AI systems that speak its language, reflect its legal codes, absorb its records, and serve its bureaucracy. A model trained mainly on American data and tuned to American corporate policy carries American assumptions. A Chinese model carries Chinese state constraints. A French model will preserve French administrative instincts, which means every answer may need 3 forms and a stamp. Somehow, the Republic survives. This is where Europe enters the fight. The European Union has built its AI strategy around regulation, public funding, and shared infrastructure. The EU's AI Factories program expanded through Euro HPC, with AI factory sites and antennas distributed across member states and partner countries. The European model seeks scale through coordination rather than a single national champion. Europe's problem is speed. Regulation can create trust. It can also slow deployment. The EU is trying to build trustworthy AI, while American firms build larger models and Chinese firms build state-backed capability under national direction. Europe wants sovereignty with procedural legitimacy. That is noble. It also means the minutes of the meeting may outlive the GPU cycle. The fourth threat vector is military dependence. AI is moving into command support, cyber operations, target recognition, logistics planning, autonomous systems, and intelligence fusion. Military AI will require trusted data, secure compute, and resilient networks. It will also require models that remain available during sanctions, submarine cable cuts, cloud outages, or wartime escalation. This is where sovereign AI overlaps with space power. Satellites generate oceans of data. AI helps process imagery, signals, weather, missile warning, maritime traffic, and battlefield movement. A state with sovereign AI can fuse space-derived data inside a controlled national architecture. A state relying on foreign AI pipelines may discover that its ISR advantage depends on someone else's server policy. That creates a hard strategic split. The United States benefits from its AI private sector. It has frontier labs, chip firms, hyperscale cloud providers, national labs, and defense demand. Its weakness is coordination. American AI power is massive, but much of it sits in corporate hands. China has a different profile. It has state direction, industrial policy, massive data resources, and a civil-military fusion model.
Exhales. Its weakness is access to the most advanced chips under export controls. The contest between Washington and Beijing now runs through semiconductor equipment, GPU access, cloud restrictions, model release policy, and data center location.
The middle powers want a third path. South Korea wants sovereign AI because it has memory chips, industrial giants, robotics, and security pressure from North Korea and China. NVIDIA announced work with South Korea to expand national AI infrastructure with more than 250,000 GPUs across government and industry partners. The United Kingdom wants sovereign compute because it wants to remain a security and science power after leaving the EU. France wants AI sovereignty because dependence on American platforms offends both strategy and national temperament. India wants sovereign AI because scale, language, bureaucracy, and defense needs make foreign dependency politically dangerous. This is the emerging map. America provides the dominant platform layer. China builds a parallel state-directed stack. Europe builds regulated AI infrastructure. The Gulf buys capacity and turns energy into compute. South Korea and Japan connect chips, robotics, and national industrial policy. India turns population-scale public systems into an AI market with civilizational weight. The Global South watches the price of admission rise. The fifth threat vector is data colonialism. Countries with weaker infrastructure may provide data, while foreign firms capture value. Local speech, health records, agriculture patterns, legal documents, and education data can become training material for systems owned elsewhere. The result is familiar. Raw material leaves, refined product returns, and the local buyer pays twice. This time, the raw material is behavior. The political danger is sharp. A country that lacks domestic models may depend on foreign AI for education, courts, taxes, border control, policing, and public communication. That gives external firms and governments indirect power over how the state sees its own people. Sovereign AI does more than protect secrets. It protects interpretation. The next 10 years will divide countries into three groups. The first group will own full-stack AI capacity. These countries will control chips, data centers, model labs, energy supply, talent, and military AI pipelines. They will set standards for others. The second group will own partial sovereignty. They will host data centers, tune models locally, and build public sector AI services while still depending on foreign chips and cloud platforms. They will negotiate constantly. The third group will rent intelligence. They will use powerful tools, but the deeper control layer will sit elsewhere. This will shape diplomacy. AI deals will look like arms deals. Data centers will look like bases. Chip export licenses will function like strategic permissions. Cloud regions will become geopolitical footholds. Model weights will become controlled assets. Energy contracts will shape intelligence capacity. The old question was, who controls territory? The new question is, who controls the systems that make territory governable? Sovereign AI is the latest form of state power because it connects administration, industry, security, language, and military tempo. It is a command layer. It decides how quickly a country can see, decide, and act. The horizon is clear. By the mid-2030s, a serious state will treat AI capacity the way it treats ports, power plants, satellites, and air defense. It will audit the supply chain. It will protect the facilities. It will train the workforce. It will classify certain models. It will demand domestic fallback options. The countries that master this stack will gain decision advantage. The countries that miss it will still have access to AI. They will use polished interfaces and impressive demos. They will hold conferences under blue lights and say national strategy until the coffee runs out. Then a crisis will arrive. The model will throttle. The cloud region will fail. The export license will freeze. The foreign vendor will comply with its own government. At that point, sovereign AI stops being a policy slogan. It becomes the difference between command and permission.